Hello there, AuthorTube world, and everyone else. I just got off work about an hour ago, and one of the things I do, if I have a little time, is settle in and watch a couple of YouTube videos. Lately, they've been AuthorTube videos, and I was watching one right now. I got about 11 minutes through it. I decided I'm going to talk about the subject, and I'm not going to mention any names right now. I've started my AuthorTube channel at youtube.com/brickjane. But I don't want to bombard the site. This site here, Homer Cocktail 49, hey, I put anything here. I don't care if I post 500 videos a day. I just put anything here. I don't care if I'm filming a bumblebee on the ground, or one time there's a bus that fell off a curb because there's construction going on, and there's this little drop off and the bus got stuck. Just little things like that. Anyhow, I want to talk about this thing that's been going on. Different authors been talking about it. This, like, the third author I've heard, third or fourth, talk about criticism, and sometimes it's constructive, etc. And sometimes it's mean and personal. And what came to my mind was a few things. I hope I remember them all. I try to keep these videos at 10 minutes or less, by the way. One of them was an Austin Powers movie where Fred Savage was a character called the Mole. Okay, this is just hypothetical. Where he had this big, pronounced, giant mole on his face. And it's like the elephant in the room, right? And sometimes we have these qualities in life. And it might not even be a physical quality necessarily. It might be something that, maybe if you're adopted or something like that. Something that just, the elephant in the room that no one talks about. And people speak in entendres, double entendres. And in Austin Powers, what they were doing was, Austin Powers came in and his mind was on the physical mole on his face. But he was also trying to figure out, I think, if the guy was a mole as a spy, someone planted in the system to try to get information, etc. And I'm not going to pick on bald people right now, but I had a buddy back in college, and we got along great. And he started dating a good friend of mine, and I'm not going to go into the whole detail, but the relationship somehow, for some reason that I can't figure out, got a little bit bumpy. Just a little bit bumpy. And this guy happened to be losing his hair. He was going bald. And I live in Southern California, and there's a set of mountains, out here. And there's a place called Mount Baldy. It's, out here near Los Angeles, within an hour drive of Los Angeles. And we'd go to these ecology meetings, and then he would do these double entendre things. And I'm not going to go into detail. And instead of fighting back in a typical way that when I was younger, I'm gonna say it straight out. Oh, your mother this, blah blah blah. Yeah, fuck you that, blah blah blah. Oh, fuck you this, and people would tell people straight up, how they felt. I apologize if that hit anyone out of the blue, but I write kind of adult books, and if anyone follows me, they know that art reflects life, and people talk like that. People talk direct, and I address that at the end of my book, Cretins, that you could read for free at scribd.com/brickjane, by the way. But there's a other class of people that speak indirectly. And there's this guy at my work that does this. And they use entendres, like Austin Powers was guacamole, mole, they want you to hear this thing you're self-conscious of. Or what they think you're self-conscious of. And with this other guy, what they started doing to him, because he was attacking people this way, is they'd overemphasize that the mountains are a short drive away, Mount Baldy. Oh yeah, hey, we should go to Baldy, and they just always talk about Baldy, trying to get under his skin because he was losing his hair. And it's like going into a whorehouse. And someone asks you, hey, would you like some pie? And they bring a lemon meringue pie. And you're thinking to yourself that there's a sexual connotation there. Double entendre. So you get innuendo, you get double entendre, you get a bunch of other indirect ways of talking. And it's not just the direct ways that people make fun of each other. But there's this guy at my work, and that's all he does all day. And if I see the guy, I make sure I walk way around where he would be talking, and then he'll start yelling even more, and I'm like, wow, this guy's a little loco, and he mutters stuff sometimes, and he's way too loud other times. But I was watching, a few videos on criticism, etc. And in my experience, the people that are doing this, they want to get a rise out of you. Okay? They're not going to be writing books. All they could do is a little blurb in a comment. I'm sorry, but it's true. And they're trying to get a rise out of you. Okay? But there was this, pardon the Celestine prophecy. I can't remember who wrote it, but I was reading that on a plane ride one time. There's 10 prophecies in the Celestine prophecy. And one of them had to do with people that are either, the subject of attention, and there's people on the other end that they're hideous or repulsive or whatever. And there's people in the middle that have a tendency to be drawn to, or, hey, you're barely missing a boat, but you're still in that bell curve. But there's people like, imagine an attractive lady going into a biker bar, and all the eyes are going to turn, and it's going to be this natural magnetism. But there's another type of person that has to do this thing to get any attention, to say something insulting or whatever, and to be yelling, and to make a point to try to get under your skin. Because, I've tried doing this. I swear to God, I've tried doing this. I've tried ignoring that guy. I'm like, I'm just going to ignore him. And he just gets louder. This guy just got louder, And, it's kind of weird. So, we're about 8 minutes right now. Usually I'm drinking a beer, but I thought I had beer in the house, and I didn't. But I have a Duels. I have a non-alcoholic. That usually does it for me lately, Sometimes if I have to work the next day, I'll alternate like a beer, non-alcoholic, that's all I do. So, I'm going to do this every now and then, just post to this Homer Cocktail 49 site, and, there's no script necessarily, so, that's that for now, alright? All right.